We will start with making Riri's ears. To begin, make a slip knot and then chain 4. Then turn your work over. You'll see we have 4 back bumps. Skip the first bump and then into the second one, make 1 increase, followed by 2 single crochets. You want to repeat this on the other side of the chain. So 1 increase, followed by 2 single crochets. At the end of this round, you should have 8 single crochets total. For rounds 2 and 3, just make single crochets all the way around. Make sure to mark the start of your round with a stitch marker. Before continuing to round 3, I like to use a small steel crochet hook to flip the work around so that the right side is facing outwards. Once that is done, continue with the 8 single crochets of round 3. For round 4, start off with 2 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. So for the invisible decrease, you put your hook through the front loop only of the first stitch, then the front loop only of the second stitch, yarn over and pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through 2. Finish off this round by making 2 more single crochets, followed by another invisible decrease. Once you're done, make a slip stitch into the first stitch, pull the yarn long, and cut it. We will crochet the ear directly into the body, so the tail doesn't need to be that long. At the end, you'll see that this last row had 6 stitches total. You will repeat this entire process again to complete the second ear. Now I'll show you how to make the arms and legs. You will be using brown yarn, but for demonstration purposes, I will be using this gray yarn again. To start off, make a slip knot and then chain 13. Flip the work over to the other side to see the back bumps. Skip the first bump, and into the second one we will make a slip stitch. We'll do this 2 more times for a total of 3 slip stitches. Okay, so now we have the first digit, so we'll chain 4 and we'll repeat what we just did. So, into the back bumps, we skip the first one, and into the second one, make a slip stitch. And then you just continue by making 2 more slip stitches. So that completes the second digit, and we'll just do that one more time for the third one. So chain 4, turn the chain around, and into the second back bump, we'll start making our slip stitches. Okay, so now we have all 3 digits. So to finish this off, we just have to make slip stitches in the remaining back bumps from that initial chain. If you're not sure which bump to crochet into, you can look at the start of the chain. Make sure you ignore that little knot at the beginning and count to the 9th back bump. That is the stitch that you want to crochet into. So you just want to make slip stitches all the way down for a total of 9 slip stitches. Finish off by chaining 1 and cutting the yarn. The tail doesn't need to be that long because we'll be crocheting this directly into the body. So once you're done, it will look something like this. You'll need to make 4 of these in total, 2 for the arms and 2 for the legs. Now let's continue with the main body. To begin, make a magic circle, and then make 6 single crochets into the magic circle. For round 2, make an increase in each stitch. You should have a total of 12 stitches at the end of the round. For round 3, do a pattern of 1 single crochet, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this all the way around. You should have a total of 18 stitches at the end of the round. For round 4, start off by making 1 single crochet, followed by 1 increase. Then, do a pattern of 2 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this pattern 4 more times. Finish off by making 1 single crochet. For round 5, do a pattern of 7 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this all the way around. For round 6, start off by making 4 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Then, do 8 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this 1 more time. Finish off by making 4 single crochets. For round 7, make 2 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Then, do 4 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this pattern 4 more times. Finish off by making 2 single crochets. Now in round 8, we will crochet the ears directly into the body. The entire round is just single crochet. To begin, we'll do 10 single crochets. We will now add on the first ear. The ears you'll be using will look something like this, but I'll be using these ones for demonstration purposes. As you can see, I've made it so every other stitch is a different color, which should hopefully help with explaining this next part. So we can see this stitch here, where the tail is coming out of, is the slip stitch we made to end the round. The way we will attach the ears is by putting our hook through the 2 corner stitches, then through the 2 middle stitches, and then the 2 other corner stitches. So, with our crochet hook still with the loop from the body on it, we will put it through the first corner stitch, and then the second corner stitch. Then, we'll put our hook into the next stitch of the body. So we have the 2 stitches from the corner of the ear and the next stitch of the body on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Then yarn over and pull through 2. So that completes the first stitch. To continue, we will put our hook through the 2 middle stitches. So you can see that's this gray one that's closest to me and the yellow one that's a bit further away. So we'll do this just like we did before, through the 2 stitches of the ear, then through the next stitch of the body, yarn over and pull through 3, then yarn over and pull through 2 to finish the single crochet. Now for the last part, it is a bit tricky to see, but we have the 2 corner stitches here. So we go through the first stitch, then the second, and then the next stitch of the body. Yarn over and pull through 3, yarn over and pull through 2, and now the ear is fully attached. If the tail is on the wrong side of the work, you can just pull it through to the inside. We will continue by making 6 single crochets into the body. Now we will attach the other ear in the exact same way as before. So into the first corner stitch and the second corner stitch, then the next stitch on the body, yarn over and pull through 3, then yarn over and pull through 2. Now we will go through the first stitch in the middle, the second stitch in the middle, the next stitch of the body, yarn over and pull through those 3, yarn over and pull through 2, and now finally through the 2 corner stitches, and the next stitch of the body, yarn over and pull through those 3, yarn over and pull through 2, and now you have both ears attached. To finish this round, just make 14 more single crochets. Once you're finished, it'll look something like this. Now we will continue with the rest of the body. So to start round 9, make 11 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this 2 more times. For round 10, we will just do a single crochet in every stitch. For round 11, start off by making 6 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Then, do a pattern of 12 single crochets, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this 1 more time. Finish off by making 6 single crochets. By the end of this round, you should have 42 stitches. For the next 3 rows, we'll just do single crochet all the way around. Now in row 15, we're going to add the arms. It's still going to be single crochet all the way around. To begin, make 10 single crochets. Again, I'm going to be using this arm for demonstration purposes, but your arms will look something like this. When you attach the arm, you want to make sure you have the right side facing up. You'll be able to tell because you can see the V's of the original chain and then the V's of the slip stitches that we made on the other side. If it's on the wrong side, it'll look like this. If you're familiar with knitting, this kind of looks like purl stitches. The way we'll attach them is by going through the outermost part of the V on the right side and then the outermost part of the V on the left side. So essentially, you put your hook through this loop only, the hook goes behind the arm, and then you stick it through the outermost loop only on the other side. So you'll place it on your hook like that before single crocheting to attach it to the body. So again, we'll go through this part of the V only, and then on the other side you will go through this loop of the V only. Now that the arm is on our hook, we want to put our crochet hook through the next stitch on the body. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over and pull through 2. And now the arm is attached. We will continue by making 20 single crochets. You can crochet around the tails to help secure them. Now we will attach the second arm just like we did before. Go through 1 loop on the right side, the other loop on the left side, and then through the next stitch of the body. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over and pull through 2, and that completes the single crochet. Finish off this round by making 10 more single crochets. Now that the arms are attached, we will make 5 more rows of just single crochet all the way around. Once that's done, you can add some stuffing. For round 21, we will start off by making 6 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Then continue by doing a pattern of 12 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat this one more time. Finish off by making 6 single crochets. For round 22, we'll do a pattern of 11 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat this all the way around. For the next round, start off with 5 single crochets, followed by a decrease. Then do a pattern of 10 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat this pattern one more time. Finish off by making 5 single crochets. For round 24, we will do a pattern of 9 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat this all the way around. At this point, you can add some more stuffing. In this next round, we'll be adding the legs. To start off, you'll do 3 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat this one more time. In the next stitch, we'll be adding a leg, and it's just the exact same process as when we were adding the arms earlier. So just like before, make sure the arm is facing upwards, and we go through the outermost loop of the V on the right side, the other loop on the left side, once the leg is on our hook, we put our hook through the next stitch of the body. Yarn over and pull through all 3, then yarn over and pull through 2, and now we have one of our legs attached. We'll continue by doing 2 more single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Then, do a pattern of 3 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat the pattern of 3 single crochets and 1 decrease one more time. We'll now add on the second leg. So we take the leg, go through the outermost loop on the right side and the outermost loop on the left side. We go through the next stitch on the body, yarn over and pull through 3, and yarn over and pull through 2. To finish off this round, make 2 single crochets, and 1 decrease. It will look something like this once you've completed the round. Okay, home stretch now, we just have 3 more rows left. So for round 26, you want to start off with 1 single crochet, followed by 1 decrease. Then, do a pattern of 2 single crochets, followed by 1 decrease. Repeat this pattern 4 more times. Finish off by making 1 single crochet. For the next round, just do a pattern of 1 decrease, followed by 1 single crochet, all the way around. I will add any last bits of stuffing now, as the round after this will be the last one before closing up our plushie. This last round is just 6 decreases. Now that that's finished, we'll pull the yarn long, cut it, and using a yarn needle, we'll go through the front loop only of each stitch. Once that's done, pull on the tail to close it up. To hide the remaining tail, just go through the center of the work and pull it out through another side. Pull on the tail tightly and cut off any excess. This is what your Riri amigurumi should be looking like. We'll now move on to adding the details of the face. For the eyes and nose, you want to take some black felt and cut out 3 oval shapes. Take your time and try to make the eyes as close in shape and size as possible. For placing the eyes, you want them to be about 2 rows below the ears. You'll also have about 4 stitches in between the eyes. The nose will be right in between them, just slightly lower. For the nose, it measures about 7 millimeters by 3 millimeters. For the eyes, they are about 4 millimeters by 9 millimeters. I used glue to attach the eyes, but you could also sew them on or even embroider them on instead. For the mouth, I didn't have the correct color of pink felt, so I used the same technique from the Psyche Cake tutorial where I used a pet brush to make some roving out of pink yarn, and then I felted it into a flat piece. Then I used some scissors to cut it into the right shape and felted it onto the plushie. If you have the right color of felt, you can just cut out a half moon shape and either glue or sew it onto the plush. For your reference, the flat side of the mouth measures about 3.5 centimeters and the widest part is about 1 centimeter. So that is it for the first part of the Riri amigurumi tutorial. If you'd like to see the second part where I show you how to make the cape, hat, and wand, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified once I upload it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again for all your support and I will see you in the next video.